All right. I call this meeting to order at 4:30 PM. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Both directors are present. Moving on to the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
All right. Do you motion to?
I move to approve the agenda.
All right, and I second, so it is approved. Moving on to public comment. We have no members of the public in person or online for public comment. So we will move on to item 3, approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
All right, and I second, so minutes are approved. Then we will move on to item 4, review of committee roles and responsibilities.
So every year, we just look over these to see if you guys want to make any changes, and if you do, we can make the corrections, and then we'll take it to the board for a consent item to approval.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that?
Pretty
Okay.
straightforward. I thought maybe it was to hire someone, the way I was reading it. Yeah, I get it.
All right, so no changes for that. We are good, thank you. Then we will move on to number 5, review of 10-year capital plan for 25-26 budget.
Yes, I'm going to let Jen take this. And with the changes that we've had in the district over the past few months, Jen is now heading up the parks temporarily at this point. But we're looking at making some changes as we move forward. So Jen's going to be taking a lot of your questions.
All right, thank you.
So I don't know if you want to just go line by line, there's only a few. But,
Please.
so in the first section, obviously, we're going to bump all of those out, since we haven't broke ground yet. So that the park portion, the 915, will move to the 25-26 year. And then the same with the 2.8. So those will move out. If you go down to line 4, there's 15,000 in there. That's earmark for Parks Master Plan, which, because of all the projects that we have going on and things like that, we feel like we should push that out maybe a couple years, so that those are completed and we have, a plan going forward, if that's the desire of the committee.
So take the 15,000 and maybe bump it to 26, 27?
Yeah,
Okay,
at least, yeah.
all right. And then the 2.8, we were bumping to 25, 26?
Yes.
And then everything else shifts over a year at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And that should be just about everything. I actually was talking to David, though, and we're going to need to put a new roof on this building. And it was planned for 25, 26, so that actually will be another line item that goes in here. We just didn't make that determination before the packet was put together. So if you go and you look at the repair and maintenance plan, you'll see the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll go actually into the CIP instead of the repair and maintenance budget.
Okay. Got it.
So that's everything on that page.
All right.
And then on the repair and maintenance, this is, the orange is just placeholders in case, like, one of the HVAC units goes out, or we need to replace, a water heater or something like that. So that's what all the orange is. And then the black ones are ones that we're probably actually planning on spending this year.
Okay. So when do we get to the point where we start adding in for the additional things that we will have once, the park actually comes to fruition?
Well, once we actually construct the items, yeah, we'll add those in.
Okay.
And begin a maintenance
Yeah.
plan for them.
Got it. Okay. Any questions? Lots, go ahead. No, there are no dumb questions
It may not be a great
here.
question, but I see this is basically what you plan to spend for projects going forward. That's really,
Yeah, so the first one is like our capital improvement projects, so they're the items that we capitalize. And then the second one is just repair and maintenance on existing facilities.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what you are working on here is going to go into the budget coming up that we're working toward?
Yes.
Okay. And that's where all the income comes in, so we can figure out how it all fits. Okay,
Yes.
I got it.
And when we do the rate study, all of these are worked into the rate study based on the years. And a lot of times we'll shift things out because you have too big of a burden some years. Some things we can put off, we will. Some of them, like the, talking about the roof at the community center, we may look at that, and if it's determined that we're gonna have more damage from pushing it off until another 6 months, we potentially may bring that back to the board and have it.
Move it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so we will move on to item 6, update on Phelan Farmers Market.
I spoke with our market manager, Rowena, yesterday, and she said things are going great. And, they're mostly indoors right now because of the weather. But she said things have been going pretty well, so.
Good. So just for FYI, we used to be mostly in charge of the farmer's market, but then recently we turned it over to Rowena, so she heads it up and does all the heavy lifting for us and everything. And then every once in a while, she comes into the park committee meeting and gives us an update on how things are going.
So do we receive something from having it here, or are we donating? What do we do?
Yeah, we donate. I don't believe.
The space, yeah.
So we're
Our
just-
costs are less than they used to be when we had we were a lot more involved in it. It just worked out better to
Gotcha.
donate the space to good community.
Gotcha.
service.
So it's another community event,
Yes.
basically? Okay.
Yeah. And she has a lot of additional programs that she does through different organizations throughout the county where they can market match for people who buy produce, lots of raffles, things like that. So it's
It's a good
yeah,
program, yeah.
It is, yeah. All right, then we will go to 7, review and discussion regarding park and recreation events.
So we're in the process of putting together our calendar. You're going to see a lot of the same regular stuff that we do. I've confirmed already all the baking classes. And then we're trying to work with some new providers. We're trying to work with Transaction Habitat to maybe bring some programs in. A compost program we hope to be starting and things like that. So there's going to be some new additions, but right now we're just kind of fleshing out the calendar.
Okay.
So at the next one, I'll bring the full list.
Perfect. All right, update regarding Phelan Community Park expansion and improvement.
Probably not much more to update other than what you've heard at the board meeting recently.
Okay. All right, and the teaching garden, I see that we have her schedule in here.
Yes, and they had their first class last weekend, and she said it went great. The attendance is always about the same, and so, but she said it was great. And they're in the process of sort of cleaning up the garden and stuff. We put mulch out there for them, and so they're working on that right now.
Okay. And this is, when we do the park expansion, we're kind of hoping to, evolve this, have a, bigger, better area for her to work and stuff, right?
Something, there's greenhouses that are part of that project, so it'll be, I think, a little more official and nicer. It's the
Yeah.
one that's kind of thrown together out there, but it's worked for years.
Yeah. All right, number 10, staff report, anything to add?
I do not have anything.
Okay,
No, other than we are filling some park positions, so we're working through that right now. So we'll have some announcements, just staffing that'll be added to the district.
Okay.
Positions that are vacant right now.
got it. All right, committee comments. Any questions or anything on anything?
Nope, I asked my questions.
Okey doke. All right, review of action items. Did we have any prior meeting action items?
It's been a few months since we met, but
Yeah.
there was, Greg had previously asked for statistics on the programs and classes. I don't know what that-
Yeah, and I'll bring that, for 2024, I'll bring that to the next meeting.
Okay. And current meeting action items?
We'll make the updates to the CIP and plan there, and we'll bring that back to the board when it's time.
Okay. And then, setting the agenda for the next meeting. I know we were for February 11th, but we have a board workshop on that day. Do we think we will, so we need to decide if we want to have a February meeting or if we want to just wait until the next one. Do you think we're going to have our new employees to where we should have a meeting in February?
No.
No?
That's your call.
Yeah, no, I think we
Jump
can
in.
wait. We won't have a whole lot of new information at all,
Okay.
so.
So then our next one would be the May 13th one? Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're okay with going to there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Obviously, if anything comes up, we could do a special meeting.
of course, yeah. Okay, great. All right, well, with no further information, I guess we will adjourn at 4:42 PM. Thank you.